The rain hammered the frat house roof like 1,000 accusations. But inside, Logan was already drowning. He slammed the door to his room, heart pounding from the blur of shots and stolen kisses downstairs, only to find his phone buzzing with a single text from Dad. "Wire's dry." Explain. That's when the floor gave way, not literally, but in that gut-wrenching moment when the lie you'd built your life on cracks open, spilling everything you never meant to see the light. And as Logan's knees hit the carpet, tears mixing with the cheap tequila on his lips, he realized the parties weren't the worst of it. It was the boy in the next room, the one whose touch felt like home, who was about to drag them both into the storm. Logan stared at the screen until the words blurred, his thumb hovering over the reply button like it was a live wire. The frat house thumped below him, bass from some EDM remix vibrating through the thin walls, laughter spiking like fireworks from the living room. It was sophomore year at UC Berkeley, the kind of autumn where the Bay Area fog clung to everything, turning the world soft and unforgiving. Logan had always been the golden boy back in Seattle. Straight-A track star, debate team captain, the son who made his single dad, Rick, beam at every parent-teacher conference. But college, it was freedom wrapped in a noose. The tuition wire, $15,000 for the semester, had vanished into a black hole of keg stands, VIP nights at the Underground, and whispered promises to cover it with scholarship money that never came. He typed, "Dad, it's a mix-up. Bank error. I'll fix it. Delete. I got this. Promise. Love you. Delete." The truth clawed at his throat. He'd blown it all on parties to numb the ache of hiding who he really was. And then there was Mason. Mason Hayes had crashed into Logan's life like a rogue wave during freshman orientation. Tall, with that effortless California surfer build, sun-bleached hair falling over hazel eyes that crinkled when he laughed. Mason was the RA for their dorm, the guy who organized beach cleanups and midnight philosophy debates in the quad. Logan had spotted him first, across a sea of name-tagged freshmen, Mason's smile cutting through the awkwardness like a lifeline. "Hey, lost puppy," Mason had said, clapping a hand on Logan's shoulder. "Stick with me. I'll show you the ropes." And just like that, Logan was hooked. Not on the ropes, but on the way Mason's voice dropped low when they talked late into the night, sharing playlists of indie folk and stories of growing up in a conservative Orange County family that still prayed the gay away. It started innocent, study sessions in Mason's room, where textbooks lay forgotten amid bags of In-N-Out fries and debates over whether Springsteen was more blue-collar heart or coastal soul. Logan would catch himself staring at the freckles dusting Mason's nose, the way his Adam's apple bobbed when he swallowed. One night, after a particularly brutal econ midterm, Mason cracked open a couple of IPAs, contraband in the dorm, and they ended up on the fire escape, legs dangling over the edge, the city lights of Oakland twinkling like distant confessions. "You're quieter than most," Mason said, nudging Logan's knee with his own. "What's eating you?" "Seattle?" Logan shrugged, the beer loosening the knot in his chest. "Just figuring shit out. Dad's got this whole plan for me. Law school, corner office, the American dream bullshit. Feels like I'm auditioning for my own life." Mason nodded, his gaze steady. "I get that. My folks think I'm gonna be the next tech bro, curing cancer with code. But me, I just wanna write. Stories that matter, you know? Ones that don't sugarcoat the mess. The mess." That's what Logan wanted to spill. The dreams that woke him sweating, tangled in sheets with visions of strong hands and whispered names that weren't his own. But he swallowed it down, clinking bottles instead. To the mess. Then, by winter break, the touches lingered, a hand on the small of Logan's back guiding him through a crowded party, fingers brushing knuckles during movie nights. Logan told himself it was bromance, the kind straight guys had. But when Mason leaned in during a New Year's countdown stream, their lips brushing in the chaos of cheers, Logan didn't pull away. It was fireworks, electric and terrifying, Mason's breath warm against his skin. "Fuck," Logan whispered, pulling back, eyes wide. Mason just smiled, soft and knowing. "Yeah. Fuck." Sophomore year flipped the script. They moved off campus into a dingy apartment near Telegraph Avenue, splitting rent with two other guys who were perpetually stoned and oblivious. The parties became Logan's escape hatch, raging at house bashes to drown out the guilt gnawing at him. Every time he swiped his card for another round, it was like flipping off the invisible tether to Dad. Rick had raised him alone after Mom bailed when Logan was 5, working double shifts as a mechanic to fund the private high school tuition that got Logan his Berkeley spot. "You're my legacy, kid," Rick would say, ruffling Logan's hair. "Don't fuck it up." But Logan was fucking it up, spectacularly. The tuition wire hit their shared account in September, earmarked for fall semester. By October, half was gone on bottle service at clubs where the bass masked his racing heart. Mason tried to talk sense into him. "Dude, you're spiraling. What's really going on?" Logan would deflect with a grin, pulling Mason into the fray. "Live a little, haze. Tomorrow's for regrets." And in the haze of it all, their nights tangled deeper, lazy mornings in sweat-damp sheets, Mason's fingers tracing the curve of Logan's spine, whispering, "You're safe here." It was love, raw and uncharted, the kind that made Logan's chest ache with something bigger than fear. Mason was out to his family, proudly so, with a tattoo on his ribcage, "Be Still" from some indie band they both obsessed over. He'd drag Logan to Pride stickers on his laptop and queer-lit readings at Moe's Books, planting seeds Logan wasn't ready to water. The text from Dad was the first crack. Logan paced the room, the party noise fading to a dull roar. He needed air. Slipping downstairs, he wove through the crowd, girls in glittery tops grinding against guys in snapbacks, red Solo cups sloshing like blood from a fresh wound. Mason was by the makeshift bar, pouring shots with that easy charisma that drew everyone in. Their eyes met, and Mason's face lit up, but it dimmed when he saw Logan's ashen expression. "Yo, you good?" Mason mouthed over the music, handing off a drink to a sorority girl. Logan shook his head, jerking his thumb toward the back door. They stepped out into the alley, the rain now a steady drizzle that soaked through their shirts. Mason leaned against the brick wall, arms crossed. "Talk to me. It's Dad. The money. It's gone." Logan's voice cracked, the words tumbling out. "I spent it. All on this shit, parties, nights out. To forget how scared I am." Mason's brow furrowed, but there was no judgment, just that steady gaze. "Scared of what? Us?" Logan laughed, bitter and wet. "Everything. Coming out. Losing him. He's all I got, Mace. And if he knew about you, about this." He gestured between them, rain tracing paths down his cheeks. "It'd break him." Mason stepped closer, cupping Logan's face, thumbs brushing away the drops. "It won't. But hiding, that's breaking you now." His lips pressed soft against Logan's forehead, promise in the chill. "We face it together, okay? Or not at all. Logan nodded. But inside, the storm brewed. He pulled Mason back inside, into the heat and anonymity of the crowd, losing themselves in a corner where bodies pressed close. It was a temporary dam, but the flood was coming. Back in the room later, buzzed and boneless, Logan finally replied to Dad. "It's bad, Dad. Can we talk?" The dots danced, Rick typing, then stopping, then nothing. Silence louder than thunder. The next morning, hangover clawing at his skull, Logan woke to Mason's arm slung over his waist, the scent of his cedar cologne grounding him. "Coffee?" Mason murmured, nuzzling his neck. "Yeah." Logan forced a smile, but his phone lit up with a call from home. Rick's voice was steel wrapped in worry. "Logan, what the hell? The bank's calling me about overdraft. This isn't a mix-up. Dad, Logan's throat closed. Mason sat up, hand on his thigh, a silent anchor. "Get your ass home this weekend. We're sorting this." Click. Mason squeezed his leg. "Breathe. Tell him." Logan met his eyes, the love there a mirror to his own terror. "I can't. Not yet." The drive back to Seattle that Friday felt like a funeral procession. Highway 5 stretched north, evergreens blurring past the window of Logan's beat-up Civic. Mason's playlist humming low, Bon Iver's falsetto weaving through the ache. They'd argued that morning. Mason wanted to come, to stand as backup, but Logan shut it down. "It's family shit. I handle it alone." "Bullshit." Mason shot back, voice edged with hurt. "I'm family too. You're the part one can't explain yet." Logan regretted it the second it left his lips, but the car door slammed anyway. Rick met him at the door of their modest queen and bungalow, grease-stained hands wiped on a rag, face etched with lines Logan hadn't noticed before. 52 and looking 60, Rick's broad shoulders sagged under the weight of unspoken griefs. Mom's abandonment, the garage's slow bleed from union busts. Inside, he grunted, leading to the kitchen where Tupperware of lasagna sat cold on the counter. They ate in silence, forks scraping plates like accusations. Finally, Rick set his down. "Tuition's gone. Logan. That's not pocket change. You gambling? Drugs?" "No, Dad. Parties. Stupid shit." Logan's cheeks burned. "I thought I could flip it. Some investments. Freelance." It snowballed. Rick's laugh was hollow. "Investments? You're 20. This is on me. I pushed too hard. Made you think you had to be perfect." He leaned forward, eyes searching. "But we fix it. I'll remortgage. You focus on school." The guilt twisted like a knife. Logan wanted to spill it all. The secret that wasn't just the money, but the boy who'd become his world. Instead, he mumbled, "Thanks, Dad. I love you." Rick pulled him into a bear hug, the kind that smelled of motor oil and safety. "Love you more, kid. Now, what's really eating you? You look like hell." Logan pulled back, throat tight. "Just stress." That night, alone in his old room with posters of Mariners games peeling at the edges, Logan scrolled through photos, him and Mason at Golden Gate, arms slung casual around shoulders. A blurry selfie from their first real date, burgers at a Haight Street joint, Mason's kiss smudged on his cheek. The ache bloomed, hot and insistent. He texted Mason, "Miss you. This sucks. Miss you more. Come back soon. We got this." But did they? The lie was a third wheel now, crowding the bed. Monday back in Berkeley, the campus buzzed with midterms fever. Students hunched over laptops in the library's glow, coffee steam curling like ghosts. Logan buried himself in lectures, but his mind wandered to Mason's laugh, the way his hips fit against Logan's in the dark. They met after class at the Beanery, tucked in a corner booth with matcha lattes and unspoken tension. "You told him?" Mason asked, stirring sugar he didn't need. "About the money?" "Yeah." "He's covering it." Logan stared at his cup. "But not us." Mason's jaw tightened. "Logan, I know. I will. Soon." The words tasted like ash. That soon stretched into weeks. The parties ramped up Logan's way of self-sabotage, dragging Mason along like a penance. One night at a warehouse rave in Oakland, strobe lights fracturing the air, Logan popped another tab of ecstasy, chasing oblivion. Mason found him in the throng, grinding against a stranger, eyes glazed. "What the fuck?" Mason yanked him aside, voice cutting through the din. "It's nothing," Logan shouted, but his body betrayed him, leaning into Mason's anger like it was foreplay. "You're killing yourself to avoid this." Mason's hands gripped Logan's arms, bruising soft. "Us. Tell him, or I'm done waiting." The threat landed like a slap. Logan yanked free, storming into the night, the pills rush crashing into panic. He ended up at their apartment, pacing until Mason walked in at dawn, exhausted and resolute. "I love you," Mason said quietly, dropping his keys. "But love isn't hiding. It's fighting." Logan crossed the room in 2 strides, crashing their mouths together, desperate, devouring. They fell into bed, clothes shedding like old skin, bodies moving in that familiar rhythm that said what words couldn't. Afterward, tangled and spent, Logan whispered, "I'll tell him. After finals." Mason traced his collarbone. "Promise. Promise." But promises are fragile as fog. Finals week hit like a freight train. Exams bleeding into all-nighters. Logan's GPA teetering on the edge. Dad called twice, checking in, his voice warmer each time. "Proud of you, son. Keep grinding." The guilt festered. One night, bleary-eyed over flashcards, Mason's phone buzzed on the nightstand. Logan glanced, instinct, not suspicion, and froze. A text from Alex. "Miss our talks. When you ditching the closet case." His stomach dropped. Alex, some hookup from Mason's freshman year, out and loud, who'd cornered Logan at a party once with sly digs. Mason snatched the phone, face paling. "It's nothing. Old shit." "Old?" "He's calling me a closet case." Logan's voice rose, betrayal sharp as glass. "You talked to him about me?" Mason sighed, rubbing his temples. "He reached out. I told him to fuck off. But you didn't block him." The words hung heavy. "It's not." Mason stopped, frustration cracking. "You're the one still in the closet. Logan, I'm out here alone, defending us to assholes like him because you won't to your own dad." The room spun. "So this is my fault? That you're entertaining exes who hate me?" "No. God, you're twisting it." Mason stood, grabbing his jacket. "I need air. This fight's going nowhere." The door slammed, echoing Logan's heartbeat. He sank to the floor. The secret no longer just his, it was a weapon now, slicing both ways. Mason didn't come back that night. Logan lay awake until the sun cracked the blinds, replaying the fight in loops that grew uglier each time. By noon, a text, crashed at Jake's. We talk later, no hearts, no emojis, just the bare bones of what they'd become. Logan replied yeah, then hurled his phone across the room. It skidded under the bed, joining dust bunnies and forgotten socks, symbols of the mess he'd made. Campus life churned on, indifferent. Logan slogged through his last exam, a brutal poli-sci paper on neoliberal traps, barely scraping a B. The grade dinged his phone as he stumbled out of Wheeler Hall, the Campanile Tower tolling like a death knell. Freedom tasted like failure. He wandered to the Greek Theater, empty now without summer concerts, and sat on the stone steps, scrolling Mason's Instagram. Stories of coffee runs and dog walks with Jake's labradoodle, no Logan, no trace. His own feed was a ghost town. Party pics scrubbed clean, replaced by bland shots of library stacks. Hiding, always hiding. The betrayal stung deeper than Alex's text. It was the mirror Mason held up, reflecting Logan's cowardice. He dialed Dad, the ringback tone a lifeline. Logan, finals done. Rick's voice boomed, engine rumble in the background. Yeah. Survived. Logan forced levity. Hey, Dad. Can I come home for a bit? Clear my head. Pause. Course, kid. Garage is slow this week. We'll fish or something. Fishing. Lake Washington. Dawn bites and bad jokes, their ritual since Logan was knee-high. Sounds good. See you Friday. He didn't tell Mason. Packed a duffel instead. Left a note on the fridge, need space. Back soon. Love you. The drive north was a blur of podcasts, This American Life episodes on fractured families, each story a prod at his own. By Tacoma, tears blurred the taillights. He pulled over at a rest stop, ugly sobbing into the wheel until his ribs ached. Rick was grilling burgers when he arrived, apron smeared with relish, cores in hand. Looking rough, son. Girl troubles. He winked, flipping patties with practiced flick. Logan laughed. Hollow. Something like that. They ate on the back deck. Seattle's skyline smudged by dusk. Ferries cutting white wakes across the sound. Rick cracked open stories. First garage brawl. Mom's laugh like wind chimes, easing into the heavy. Money's sorted. Second mortgage closed yesterday. Don't sweat it. Logan's fork paused midair. Dad, you can't. I can. And I did. You're worth it. Rick's eyes softened. Now, Bill. This ain't just tuition blues. The words lodged like fishhooks. Logan stared at his plate, the patty congealing. It's complicated. There's someone. But it's not what you think. Rick leaned back, cracking his knuckles. Spit it out. I ain't fragile. Not a girl. Logan's pulse thundered. A guy. Mason. We've been together. Almost a year. Silence stretched, broken only by a distant gull. Rick's face didn't crumple. It just shifted, like gears grinding in an old transmission. Mason. The roommate. Yeah. Logan braced, waiting for the recoil. The what the hell? Or worse, the quiet rejection. Instead, Rick exhaled slow. All right. Tell me about him. The dam broke. Logan poured it out, the hook of Mason's smile, the nights that felt like flying, the parties as armor against this very moment. Rick listened, nursing his beer, interjecting only once. Sounds like a solid guy. Why hide? Fear. Of losing you. Of fucking up your dream for me. Rick set the bottle down. Hard. My dream? Kid, you're living it. Gay. Straight doesn't change that. But hiding? That's the fuck up. He stood, clapping Logan's shoulder. Proud of you for saying it. Now, eat your damn burger before the raccoons do. It wasn't a hugfest or tears. Rick wasn't built for Hallmark. But it was enough. A crack in the armor, light seeping through. That night, over a Mariners rerun, Rick tossed casual questions. He a Mariners fan? We could catch a game. Logan grinned, the weight lifting like fog off the bay. Saturday, they hit the lake at dawn, rods casting lines into the glassy water. Base nibbled lazy, but the Real catch was the talk. Rick admitting he'd suspected since high school, the phase pep talks he'd prepped but never needed. Your mom. She left because she couldn't handle the quiet life. Not because of you. Ever think that weighed on me? Logan reeled in a small mouth, the fight mirroring his own. Yeah. Sorry. Nah. We're good. Rick gutted the fish with a pocket knife, efficient and unflinching. Just promise me, no more secrets. And pay me back when you can. Deal. The drive back Sunday was lighter, windows down, Pearl Jam blasting. Logan texted Mason, told Dad. About everything. He's cool. We need to talk. Dots danced. Then holy shit. On my way. They met at the Berkeley Marina. Gulls wheeling over the breakers. The Golden Gate a hazy promise in the distance. Mason arrived windswept from Bart. Eyes wary but hopeful. How'd it go? Like pulling teeth. But he took it. Logan pulled him close, the embrace fierce against the wind. I'm sorry. For the fight, for dragging my feet. Mason melted into it, hands fisting Logan's shirt. Me too. Alex is blocked. For good. He pulled back, searching Logan's face. You mean it? No more hiding. Swear. Their kiss was salt-tinged, reclaiming what the fight had chipped away. They walked the pier hand in hand. First public time. Logan's heart a drumroll of thrill and terror. A jogger smiled. An old couple nodded. No lightning. No apocalypse, just life. Unfolding. Back at the apartment, they cooked. Pasta with pesto from the farmer's market. Wine pilfered from Jake's stash. Laughter bubbled easy. The rift mending over stories. Rick's gruff acceptance. Mason's relief. In bed, it was slow, reverent, fingers mapping scars, breaths sinking like tides. I love you, Logan murmured into Mason's hair. The words a vow. Love you back, Mason whispered, and for the first time, felt unbreakable. But cracks spiderweb before they shatter. Mid-November brought Thanksgiving. Rick's invite extending to Mason. Bring the boyfriend. I'll grill a bird. Logan beamed, texting details. Mason's family was trickier. Orange County conservatives who'd disowned his coming out at 18. Funding cut cold. I'll go, Mason said, voice tight. For us, the holiday loomed like a checkpoint. Parties tempted Logan still. Finals hangover lingering in invites to Rager's, but he demurred. Nights spent curled with Mason over scripts. Mason was writing again, a short story collection inspired by their mess. Queer kids navigating straight-world minefields, raw and redemptive. One evening, laptop glowing, Mason read aloud. He tasted like rain and regret, but in that kiss, forgiveness bloomed. Logan shivered, pulling him down. That's us. Yeah, Mason breathed. Our story. Then the bomb dropped. A knock at the door. 10 p.m. Mid-Netflix. Logan opened to a courier. Envelope crisp. Berkeley billing office. Overdue notice. $8,000 balance. Heart sinking. He tore it open. Dad's second mortgage hadn't cleared. Some glitch in processing. Panic clawed up. He called Rick. Voicemail. Hey, kid. Out late. Call tomorrow. Mason peered over. What now? I borrowed against it already. For rent, bills, lie by omission. But it stuck. I'll figure it. Mason's eyes narrowed. Logan, trust me. The old reflex. Shielding. Thanksgiving dawned crisp. The Bay Area's rare blue sky a tease. They drove south in Mason's Jeep. Logan's anxiety co-piloting. Rick's house smelled of sage and turkey. The table set for 3. Hugs were awkward. Rick's firm clap on Mason's back. Welcome, son. Mason flushed. Charming with tales of Berkeley hikes. Dinner flowed. Stories of Logan's toddler tantrums. Mason's secret poetry slams. Rick laughed. Carving seconds. You too. You got that spark. Like me and your mom. Before. Nostalgia tinged his voice. But no bitterness. After pie, dishes done. They fished again. Rick and Mason bonding over lures. Logan watching from the dock. Chest full. He's a keeper, Rick murmured later. Washing up. Don't screw it. Working on it. The drive back was giddy. Hands linked over the console. Your dad's a legend, Mason said. Mine would have torched the turkey. Logan squeezed. You're stuck with us now. But Monday, reality bit. The billing office called. Payment rejected. Full amount due by December. Logan's freelance gigs, tutoring, odd coding, dried up post-finals. Desperation whispered. One big party hall. Flip some product. Stupid. But the old habit died hard. He didn't tell Mason. Instead, slipped out to the underground. DJ sets thumping. Promising promoters a cut for entry fees. $500 in pocket by midnight. But the high was hollow. Eyes scanning for Mason in every shadow. Home at 3 a.m. Reeking of smoke. Logan found Mason awake. Arms crossed. Where? Side gig. Money shit. Bullshit. Mason's voice cracked. You're partying again. After everything. It's one night. One night that snowballs. Mason stood. Hurt raw. I thought we were past this. Past hiding. I'm not hiding. I'm fixing. Logan snapped. The envelope burning in his bag. Mason grabbed his coat. Fix it alone. Then. Door slam. Echo. Logan collapsed. The money mocking him from his wallet. The secret wasn't hidden anymore. It was devouring them. The apartment felt cavernous without Mason's clutter. His notebooks stacked neat on the coffee table. Guitar propped in the corner like a sentinel. Logan paced circuits from kitchen to balcony. The city lights mocking his isolation. 4 a.m. No sleep. He texted Jake. Mason at yours? Need to talk. No reply. Dawn crept in. Gray and accusatory. Coffee brewing bitter as regret. By noon, the billing office's hold music looped in his skull. He called Rick. Dad. The tuition, it's still pending. I need a bridge loan. Like $10,000. Rick's paws crackled the line. What? I sent the papers. Check your email. Logan did. Heart sinking. Confirmation from the bank. But Berkeley's system lagged. They want it now. Grace period ends Friday. Shit. Okay. Wire what I can. $5K today. Rest next week. Rick's voice strained. This is the last. Logan. No more surprises. Promise. But the word tasted false. He pocketed the incoming transfer. Guilt a lead weight. Mason returned at dusk. Duffel slung over shoulder. I'm crashing at Jake's for a bit. Need headspace. Logan's stomach twisted. Mace. Wait. It's not what you think. What's that? You lying again. Mason's eyes, usually warm, were storm clouds. I saw the envelope. You're drowning in this, and instead of asking for help, you sneak out. I was gonna tell you. When, after another bender, Mason dropped the bag, voice rising. I love you, but I can't watch you self-destruct. Not when I'm fighting to hold us together. The plea hung, slicing deep. Logan reached out. Mason stepped back. Stay. Please. I'll quit the parties. Cold. Mason searched his face, softening a fraction. Prove it. Therapy. Budget. Something real. Deal. They hugged then, tentative, the fracture mending with fragile thread. Mason stayed, but the air hummed with caution, nights quiet, no more late scrolls, just shared breaths and whispered I got yous. December barreled in, finals echo fading into holiday frenzy. Campus emptied, strings of lights twinkling from frat houses like lures. Logan stuck to his word. Coffee dates at Royal Ground, walks in Tilden Park where redwoods whispered secrets. Mason submitted his stories to a lit mag, Queer Ink Quarterly, and the acceptance email pinged like victory. 2 pieces, publication in spring. To us, Logan toasted with hot cider at a tree lighting, their gloved hands brushing. To not breaking, Mason echoed, ice shining. Rick's Christmas package arrived. Flannel shirts monogrammed LNM, a nod to their duo. Inside, a note, for the boys. Fish soon. Love, Dad. Logan framed it on the mantle, a talisman, but betrayal brews in the blind spots. New Year's Eve, a bash at the old frat house. Logan swore off, but Mason's phone buzzed with invites from Alex's circle. Go if you want, Logan said, feigning casual. I'll Netflix. Mason hesitated. Come with? As my date. Out loud. The ask was a test. Logan nodded, pulse racing. Yeah. Let's. The house pulsed with bass. Bodies a sweaty tide. Logan clung to Mason's hand, the public claim a thrill laced with nausea. Whispers followed, is that? But Mason's arm around his waist was armor. They danced, close and unapologetic, until Alex slithered up, beer foam grin. Look who crawled out. Alex's eyes raked Logan. Hayes. Slumming it. Fuck off. Mason growled, steering away. But Alex's seed planted doubt. Later, in a quiet corner, Logan overheard. Alex to a friend. Mason's wasting his time. Closet boy's gonna bolt. Laughter, sharp as shards. Logan froze, the old fear coiling. He slipped out, air hitting like ice. Mason found him on the curb, jacketless, shivering. Hey, did you hear? Logan's voice trembled. About me. Mason knelt, cupping his face. Ignore him. He's poison. But what if he's right? The confession spilled. What if I do bolt? Ruin you? Mason's grip tightened. Then I'd chase you. But you won't. We're stronger. The kiss grounded him, fireworks popping overhead like punctuation. Midnight cheers, but their world narrowed to two. January thawed the chill new semester, resolutions sticky as sap. Logan joined a queer alliance. Awkward at first, sharing in circles. I'm Logan. Out to my dad. Working on the rest. Mason beamed from the back. His presence a North Star. Classes ramped. Logan's poli-sci seminar on identity politics mirroring his life. Mason's creative writing delving into fractured loves. Evenings, they cooked. Stir-fries with too much garlic. Wine-fueled reads of each other's work. Logan's first poem, scribbled in margins. You are the bridge I feared crossing / now home in your span. Cheesy, Mason teased, but kissed him fierce. Rick visited mid-month, flying down for a weekend. Awkward charm. Burgers at Top Dog, a Giants game where Rick heckled umps with Seattle flair. Mason's all right, he admitted over beers. Treat him right, or I'll wrench your ass. Dad, Logan laughed. But the warning lingered, family now. Stakes higher. The idol cracked in February. Valentine's loomed. Mason planning a surprise. Cabin rental in Big Sur. Ocean whispers and no cell service. Logan buzzed. But a call from Rick shattered it. Garages underwater. Roof caved in snow. Insurance fighting. That bridge loan? Might need it back. The $5,000 spent on rent, bills, a Valentine's gift watch for Mason. Panic surged. Dad, I can't. Not yet. Logan, hurt-edged Rick's tone. Thought we were past this. We are. Just gimme time. Hung up, chest tight. Mason noticed the pallor. What's up? Nothing. Reflexive. Logan. Fine. Dad's in a bind. Money stuff. Partial truth. Mason's face fell. The tuition echo? Why not tell me? Because it's my mess. Ours now. Mason pulled him close. We handle together. But Logan pulled away. Fear whispering mine to fix. He dipped back into gigs, tutoring doubles, even a shady app for campus errands. Nights, exhaustion masked the strain. Valentine's dawn. They drove Highway 1, cliffs plunging to turquoise waves. The cabin was rustic heaven. Stone fireplace, king bed piled with quilts. Mason unpacked chocolates, playlist of their songs. To us, he toasted with local Pinot. Dinner by firelight, steak sizzling, stories flowing. But Logan's phone vibrated. Rick. Any luck? Desperate here. Ignored, then powered off. Bed was magic. Slow undress, candle flicker dancing shadows, bodies arching in syncopated grace. Forever, Mason gasped, buried deep. Forever, Logan vowed. But dawn brought the lie's shadow. Back in Berkeley, the app gig escalated. Deliver packages for a dorm dealer, $200 a pop. Logan justified, quick cash, no harm. One night, handoff in a library bathroom, paranoia prickled. Mason waited outside, oblivious. Home, buzzed on adrenaline. Logan confessed the watch. Bought it with extras. Mason's smile faded. Extras. Side hustle. Clean. Like what? Suspicion. Errands. Vague. Mason let it slide, but the thread frayed. Mid-March. High tide. Alliance meeting. Guest speaker on queer youth homelessness. Stats gutting 40% kicked out post coming out. Logan zoned. Rick's face flashing. Post-meet. Mason pulled him aside. You're distant. Talk. It's nothing. Bull. Mason's voice sharpened. This about money? Or us? Both. Logan exploded. Dad's struggling because of me. I'm scrambling, and you act like it's easy. It's not. But lying makes it worse. Mason's eyes glistened. I saw the app. Deliveries, drugs. No, just stop. Mason backed away. I can't do half-truths anymore. Figure your shit, or we're done. The ultimatum landed like a rogue wave. Logan reeled. Alone in the apartment, the watch-ticking accusation on the nightstand. He called Rick at dawn, sending the $5,000. Wired today. Son. Relief. Confusion. You didn't have to. I do. Clean slate. But the cost. Pride stripped. Mason's absence a void. Days blurred, classes mechanical. Nights scrolling old texts. I love you, ghosts. A week later, Mason texted. Coffee? Neutral ground. Beanery. Corner booth. Mason slid in. Tired-eyed. Missed you. Me too. Logan's throat bobbed. I'm sorry. Therapy starts next week. No more gigs. Mason nodded. Tentative smile. Good. And the money? Handled. Dad's okay. They talked hours. Fears unpacked. Boundaries redrawn. Hand-holding tentative. Then firm. Home. Love-making tentative. Then fierce a reclamation. Spring bloomed. Fragile peace. Mason's stories published. Reading at a campus event. Logan front row. Tears pricking at the dedication. For the boy who crossed the bridge. But undercurrents stirred. Alex resurfaced. Anonymous email to Mason. He's using you. Check his browser history. Screenshots. Logan's incognito searches. Gay conversion stories. Coming out regret. Mason confronted. Gentle but gutting. Why look at this? Fear. Logan crumbled. Old demons. Banish them. Mason's embrace. Fierce. With me. April showers brought clarity. Logan blogged anonymously. Out at 20. The messy middle posts raw. Resonant. Followers trickled. Then flooded. An editor pinged. Podcast interest. Rick called. Saw your blog. Linked it at the shop. Proud. Kid. Validation. Warm as sun. Climax brewed in May. Mason's family outreach. A letter from his mom. Post-publication. Read your words. Hurts. Call? Mason trembled sharing it. Go, Logan urged. Heal. Dinner with his parents. Orange County tract house. Tension thick as chowder. Words exchanged, tears. Apologies. Not full absolution. But a start. Back late. Mason collapsed into Logan. It was hell. But progress. They made love under stars, rooftop blanket. City hum below, bodies a testament to survival. Graduation loomed, but shadows lengthened. Logan's blog hit viral. A troll thread, doxing hints. Then, the betrayal? Alex, outed as poster, but not before DMs to Rick. Your son's a fraud. Partying liar, dragging Mason down. Rick called. Voice shattered. Logan? What the fuck is this? The phone slipped from Logan's hand, clattering to the kitchen tile like a gunshot. Mason, toweling from a shower, froze in the doorway, steam curling around his bare shoulders, eyes widening at Logan's ashen face. What, Dad? Alex. He emailed him. Everything. Logan's voice was a rasp, the world tilting. The parties, the money called me a fraud. Said I'm ruining you. Mason crossed in 2 strides. Phone snatched. He scrolled, curse spitting low. That son of a... I'll kill him. No. Logan sank to a chair, head in hands. It's out. All of it. The apartment, once sanctuary, closed in, walls echoing the accusations. Mason paced, fury radiating. We go to your dad. Face it. Tonight. Logan laughed. Manic. It's 8 p.m. Seattle's 3 hours. Fly. Then. Mason's resolve steel. No more running. They booked the red eye. Hearts pounding through security. Airport bar. Whiskey shots for courage. Hands clasped under the table. What if he disowns me? Logan whispered, the old terror surfacing. Then we build new. Mason's thumb stroked his knuckles. But he won't. Not after all this. The flight was turbulence incarnate. Plane bucking winds. Logan's gut churning worse. Landing at Seattle-Tacoma. Dawn gray. They rented a Corolla. Rick's address punched into GPS. The bungalow loomed. Porch light still burning like a beacon or trap. Rick answered on the second knock. Unshaven. Coffee mug gripped white-knuckled. His eyes flicked from Logan to Mason. Hardening. Inside. Kitchen table. The email printout splayed like evidence in a trial. Rick sat heavy. Voice gravel. Start talking. Logan did. Floodgates wide, the tuition spiral. Parties as escape. Love for Mason as anchor and ache. I hid because I was ashamed of failing you. Rick's gaze bored in. And this Alex prick? Stirring shit. Ex-rival. Jealous. Mason interjected. Steady. Logan's changed. Therapy. Blog, he's owning it. Rick rubbed his jaw. Silence stretching. Finally, I knew the money hurt. Thought we moved past. But this, he tapped the paper. Says you're using Mason. That true? No. Logan surged forward. He's the best. Easy. Rick held up a hand. I see how you look at him. Like I did your mom. Sigh. Deep. Hurts. Kid. Feeling like the fool who missed it all. You're not. Tears tracked Logan's cheeks. I am. Sorry doesn't cut it. But it does. Rick stood, pulling Logan up into a crush of hug. We all fuck up. Just no more ghosts. Mason joined. The triad awkward but real. Rick's clap on his back. You sticking? Damn right, Mason said, voice thick. Breakfast stretched. Eggs scrambled. Stories traded. Rick admitted his own secrets. A college fling with a guy, buried under straight expectations. Times were different. But regret, killer. Freeze me, Logan murmured. Knowing, by noon, they fished. Lake Miracom, rods dipping companionable. Laughter pierced grief. Rick's bad casts, Mason's hook snags. Family, Rick grunted, reeling a trout. Messy fuckers. Back home. The drive south was catharsis, windows down. Bruce Springsteen wailing Thunder Road. He forgave, Logan marveled, head on Mason's shoulder. We did, Mason corrected. Team. Berkeley welcomed with bloom. Jacarandas purple pelting streets. Finals fever low hum. Logan's blog exploded post-confront. Betrayal to breakthrough. Interviews rolling in. A book deal whisper. But fame's underbelly. Alex's escalation. Restraining order filed after voicemails. You'll regret this. Court date loomed. But solidarity armored them. Alliance rallied, fundraiser read for Logan's charity tie-in. Queer youth support. Mason's collection launched. Bridges burned. Rebuilt. Dedication to Logan. My span. Summer beckoned. Internship for Logan at a Seattle nonprofit. Mason house-sitting Big Sur. Distance tested, late calls. Sex playful sharp. Miss your chaos, Mason texted. Photo of ocean crash. Miss your calm, Logan fired back. Rick's garage in background. Rick thrived. Blog fan at the shop. A date with a widow from church. Life's short, he said over burgers. Grab it. August heatwave. They reunited at the cabin. Bodies reacquainting in salt air. Night star-strewn. Lovemaking ocean roared. Urgent. Then languid. Seals on vows. Fall semester, juniors now. Ambitions sharpening. Logan's poli-sci thesis on queer policy. Mason's MFA apps. Parties. Ghosts. Banished to anecdotes. But conflict simmers. October. Mason's mom visited. Tentative bridge. Lunch at a Berkeley bistro. Progress. Hugs exchanged. But barbs lingered. He's still wild? She asked Mason. Eyeing Logan. Wild good, Mason defended. Real. Logan swallowed retorts. But seeds of doubt. Am I enough? Thanksgiving redux. Rick's. Extended family. Cousins quizzical. Aunts overly sweet. So, Mason's the friend. Aunt Karen probed. Boyfriend. Rick boomed. Carving turkey. Pass the gravy. Awkward laughs. But acceptance seeped. Post-feast. Logan and Mason escaped to the deck. Breaths fogging. Your family's chaos, Mason chuckled. Ours, Logan corrected. Kiss ceiling. December chill brought climax's shadow. Logan's book deal solidified. Memoir advance. $20,000. Celebration dinner. Rick flew down. Toasts clinking. To secrets spilled. But envy festers. Alex, unhinged. Hacked Logan's email. Leaked old party pics to the publisher. Logan midbender. Arm around a girl for camouflage. Spin fraud exposed. The call came midnight. Editor. Hesitant. PR nightmare. Pause the deal. Logan's world fractured. It's old. Me then. Not now. Perception, she sighed. We'll see. Mason held him through sobs. Fuck them. Your story's true. Rick's voice on speaker. Fight it, kid. Or pivot. You're more than this. Betrayal's sting. Not Alex's, but the world's judgment. Logan spiraled, therapy doubled. Runs pounding pavement till lungs burned. Mason's anchor. Co-wrote a response piece. The boy in the photos. Viral rebuttal. Publisher backpedaled. Deal revived. January healed. Book tour mini. Readings intimate, Logan voice steady. Mason Q&A wingman. Audiences tiered. You give hope. Spring equinox. They hiked Angel Island. Ferry chug. Trails winding to Vista. At the peak. Wind whipped. Mason knelt. Ring simple. Silver band etched be still. Marry me? Mess and all. Logan's yes choked wet. Embrace cliff edge fierce. Yes. Forever. News to Rick. Beer in hand. Grin wide. About time. Wedding at the lake. Family fused. But drama peaks in shadows. Summer pre-wedding. Bachelor trip to Tahoe. Bros including Jake. Rick tagging as chaperone. Lake house rented. Kayaks and brews. Night 2. Bonfire crackle. Alex crashes, drunk, uninvited, sourced from socials. You think you're heroes? He slurs, bottle waving. Mason was mine first. Your rebound trash. Fists clench. Rick steps in. Leave, kid. Before I make you. Scuffle brief. Alex shoved. Cops called. But words linger. He'll leave you. All of them do. Mason, bruised lip, holds Logan lakeside. Ignore. He's broken. But doubt creeps. Wedding jitters. Old fears. Climax crests June. Rehearsal dinner. Rick's backyard strung lights. Vows practiced. But Logan's toast falters, voice cracking on I almost lost you. Mason's eyes. Love. Unwavering. Ceremony eve. Storm brews. Literal. Thunder rumbling cascades. Logan alone in boyhood room. Doubts howling. Run? Mason slips in. Bed edge sit. Hey! Scared. Logan admits. Of forever. Of failing. Mason cups his face. Scared too. But we fail together. Kiss soft. Deepening body's memory. Reaffirming. Dawn wedding. Lake shore. 50 guests. Rain held off. Sun gilding vows. I do. Exchanged. Rings sliding home. Rick's toast. To bridges crossed. Honeymoon big sir. Waves crash witness to nights unbound. Days hand in hand. Fall post-wedding glow. Berkeley a cocoon. Newlyweds navigating domesticity. Groceries argued over. Mornings tangled lazy. Logan's memoir Hidden Harbors launched to acclaim. Bestseller whisper. Tours coast to coast. Mason's MFA acceptance. Iowa. Full ride. Logan probed. Map unrolled. Portland. Mason suggested. Compromise suite. You remote. I commute. Rick's garage stabilized. Blog merch funding expansions. Podcast collab brewing. Proud papa. He texted wedding pics. Arm around his widow date. But humanism roots in soil turned. First anniversary. Cabin return. But shadowed Logan's tour exhaustion. Mason's Iowa jitters. Dinner candlelit. But words snag. You're drifting, Mason says. Fork poised. Work. Logan deflects. You too, Iowa's siren. Us first. Hand over hand. Remember. They do. Firelit talks. Bodies bridging gaps. Renewed. They plot. Portland base. Iowa weekends. Challenges mount. Tour stop in LA. Fan meet. But heckler echoes Alex. Fake story. Security halls. But bruise lingers. Mason flies in hotel comfort. As packs and I love yous. Back home. Therapy joint. Unpack fame's toll. Commitment's weight. We're human, counselor nods. Flawed. Fierce. Winter bites. Portland move. Craftsman fixer-upper. Rick helps paint. Stories swapped over takeout tie. Marriage like engines. He grunts. Roller dripping. Tune regular. Holidays fused. Seattle OC hybrid. Mason's mom thawing. Grandkids talk. Tentative. You're happy? She asks Logan. Pie slice past. Ecstatic. Truth. Spring sprouts. Logan's nonprofit pivot. Queer Youth Center in Portland. Mason adjuncts. Stories flowing. Nights. Readings mutual Logan's drafts. Mason's poems. Conflict simmers subtle. Infertility whispers. Years tick wedding too. No bump. Test sterile. Hearts hollow. Adopt. Mason ventures. Over diner hash. Surrogate. Logan counters. Talks tangle. Fears of legacy. Rick's you're enough. Therapy deepens. Grief circles. Support groups. Summer breakthrough. Foster certification. First placement a teen. Jamie, 17. Kicked out post coming out. Wide-eyed. Guarded. You real? Or show? Real mess. Logan grins. Mason's nod. Jamie thaws. Movie nights. Lake trips with Rick. Family, he mutters. First smile. Betrayals echo. Ex-foster returns. Custody fight. Jamie's bio-dad. Reformed addict. Court battles drain. But they fight lawyers. Letters. Love. Victory. Jamie stays. Adoption papers ink fresh. Brothers? He asks. Ring exchanged mock. Family, Mason affirms. Aging graces. 5 years. Portland rooted. Logan's center thrives. Book 2 harbors home. Mason tenured. Novel deal. Rick retires. Visits frequent. Grandpa Rick. To Jamie's eye rolls. Elder years tease. Gray's threading hair. Joints creakier hikes. Anniversaries lake-bound. Vows refreshed. Still crossing. Always. Climax's quiet crest. Rick's diagnosis. Prostate. Late. Beat it. He rasps. Bedbound. Like you did secrets. Logan bedside. Mason handhold. We got you. Final days. Story spun. Laughs gasped. Passing gentle. Hospice hush. Love you. Boys. Grief title. Funeral lakeside. Eulogies raw. He taught bridges. Logan speaks. Voice steady. After. Healing communal Jamie's anchor. Center's legacy. Mason's novel dedicates. To Rick. Builder. Years weave Jamie college bound. Queer and proud. Logan. Mason, silvered. Settled nights porch swinged. Hands laced. One dusk. Sunset gilding sound. Regrets? Mason asks. None. Logan leans. You? Only not sooner. Kiss sunset soft. Humanism's close. Not flawless arc. But resilient weave. Love's labor. Secrets spilled. Family forged. In America's vast heart. 2 boys' story. Hidden once. Now harbor home. Epilogue whisper. Jamie's wedding. Logan Mason dance floor center. Arms full. Hearts fuller. Rick's spirit in wind. Grab it.